Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Deacon Francis, and I'm with King James Bible University. I'm the host of the Lordship of Israel, and along with the host of Yhou. And before we begin, I would like to make a very important announcement that we make in every teaching. We here at King James Bible University and the host of the Lordship of Israel, including the host of Yhou, are not affiliated with no Christian group, organization, neither any Black, Hebrew, street camp group, organization. We don't share notes with no institution. King James Bible University stands alone. And I would like to thank everyone for coming out and joining me in this lesson. And the title of this lesson is Israel, How Art Thou Formed? I'd like to start off in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8. And we pick this up at verse 8. And it reads, For when the nations is fashioned, formed, now in the mother's womb, in the world, and thou givest it members, thy creature is preserved in the fire, in that desire, including knowledge, and 9 months. So over time, toward thy workmanship, thy spirit endure thy creature, which is formed in her. My brothers and sisters, the Most High created this matrix we live in for many, but the world to come for a few. For time past, this earth was without form and void. So we, as people, were living in darkness, fulfilled with the lust of the flesh. We were contained with wicked thoughts and imaginations. Then, as the Most High saw the wickedness within us, Yahweh, the Father, declared a separation between the knowledge of this world, which is beneath the heavens, from the knowledge that's from above. So, his word fashioned many. However, all of us had the seed within us while in Egypt, while we were in bondage. Some of us decided not to wean ourselves off that milk, that form of faith and belief, the profound things we learned from the heathens, those Gentiles, who are separated from God. So, the question is this: how art thou formed within this womb, brothers and sisters? Are we conformed to this world, or are we brought forth in the way of Jehovah? Because there be many created, but few shall be saved. Let's jump up to verse 6. And it reads, O Lord, O Creator, providing thou suffer not thy servant, that we may confess in the presence of thee, and thou give us the truth. Thou give us seed, the truth, the word, unto our hearts, our desires and will, and culture, law and authority to our understanding, that there may come work of it. How shall each man live that is corrupt, who brought forth the dwelling place of a male and a female? No man, no male or the female, no male or female, can live providing we walk in corruption. It's impossible. If any one of us, if any one of those attributes that are in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19, those works of the flesh are manifested within us, then we're subject to death. And that's the separation from Jehovah. This is why we need His Spirit to dwell in us, to lead us and guide us through this matrix. We can't do it alone, brothers and sisters. We need our guide. Wisdom is given to the male or the female that desireth the Spirit of God, our guide, that delighted greatly in His instructions, His laws, statutes, and commandments, because His seed shall be mighty, shall be strong, powerful upon the earth, upon the generations of the upright, shall be given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. From here, let's go to Psalms, the book of Psalms, chapter 31, and we'll pick this up at verse 1. And it reads, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. In thee, O Spirit of God, do I put my trust, my assurance, my confidence. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Verse 3, for thou art in your perfection and beauty, my rock, my strength, and my fortress. For that reason, for thy way's sake, instruct me and guide me. We need the strength of Jehovah. We can't rely on our own strength. It will profit us nothing, brothers and sisters. We need His instructions to guide it. We need His instructions as a guideline, a blueprint that we must follow all the way through until completion, till the end, till these eyes closed, brothers and sisters, till love face death. His instructions is the map that we need to guide us on this King's Highway. However, we must remember it. We must remember that it will be trials along the way. Stumbling blocks will always be along this path of righteousness. This is why we must continually seek Him with all diligence and remain humble through it. This is why I tell us this in the book of Sirach. Let's go there. Sirach, Psalm Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20. We'll pick this up at verse 32. And it reads, necessary patience in seeking the Lord, the Creator, is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide, without the Spirit. If we are walking in a path in life blind, how can we know which direction to go? Because Jehovah is our path. Our paths are unknown without Him. We'll be walking in ignorance. We wouldn't know and understand nothing, brothers and sisters. Because to us, there's a way that seemeth right. Only to us, only to this flesh. But the end thereof are the ways of death. And that's the separation from Yhou. That's why it tells us this in the book of John. Let's go there. John, chapter 15. We pick this up at verse 5. And it reads, I am the vine, the path, the way. Ye are the branches. So we are the servants. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much work. For without me, ye can do nothing. Exactly the point. Without our guide, we can't see the path of righteousness. Without his spirit, we are spiritually blind, walking in a lifestyle in this matrix. And all of our works that we think is good, it's nothing. It's vain and worthless in the eyes of Jehovah, because many of us will labor the labor of ourselves, thinking we are doing something good when we are doing the total opposite. This is what many will do, thinking that we are walking in a righteous path. But how can that be so without a guide? We must remember that we are his sheep, and he is our shepherd. He is the keeper of the sheep. Jehovah knows his sheep. Let's go to chapter 10, same book. John, chapter 10. We pick this up at verse 27. And it reads, my sheep, my servants, hear, obey my doctrine, and I know them that follow me. Jehovah knows the hearts and minds of all. He knows those who desire him, those who hear and obey his voice, by following his laws, statutes, and commandments. He knows them that follow his path. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. We pick this up. Start off in verse 54. And it reads, remember, the Creator knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their desires. Verse 57. He searcheth the deep, searches the mysteries of the people, and the worldly wisdom thereof. He that weigh out measures of the people, and what it containeth. That's what Jehovah do. Jehovah weighs out the wicked thoughts and imaginations of us all. He knows the attributes of the flesh. Like I said earlier, that's in Galatians chapter 19, verse 21. And these are not hidden from the Most High. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. These ain't hidden, brothers and sisters. Jeremiah chapter 17. We pick this up at verse 9 and 10. And it reads, the heart, the mind is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? But brothers and sisters, there's nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So, everything we say, everything we think about or do, the Most High knows. He knows our every step and move. He knows a man, male or female. So, only man can see our heart, our mind or conscience. But Jehovah, Jehovah can see all things, man. Let's jump down to verse 10. Let's jump to verse 10. Jehovah's letting us know. I, the Spirit of God, search the heart. So he searched our mind, our conscience. I try the reins. So he tried the inward part. Even to give every man according to his manner and according to the work of his doing. Many of us will think this walk is a game, but it's not. We want to still be involved in these things that's against Jehovah, such as idle conversations, making our own decisions on matters what need to be addressed to someone who can give you wise counsel through scripture, not counsel of their own, and that can come from our pastor, an elder, evangelist, deacon, or brother. The advice will come from Jehovah through his vessels. So it's no need for us to think because we are adults, we can make decisions on our own, ourselves, for ourselves. That's pride. We can't be getting into those kind of things. Not on this journey. Then, when things go south, we want to ask for guidance. Then we had the opportunity, to seek for advice before any decision we made. This is being unstable in your faith. Because who are you trusting in? Jehovah or oneself? Let's go to the book of Proverbs. You got to trust in our guide. You can't trust in flesh. Proverbs chapter 3. Let me pick this up at verse 5. And it reads, trust in the Spirit of God with all thine heart, with all your faith and belief, and lean not unto thine own understanding. We can't be trusting ourselves. Our thoughts are wicked and vain. We need Jehovah. We are his servants that trust in him. We don't need to trust in no flesh, brothers and sisters. See ya. Verse 6. What does it say? In all thy ways, acknowledge who? Acknowledge him, Jehovah. And he shall what? Direct. He shall guide thy path. He shall guide our ways. How are we going to acknowledge something we can't see? How? How are we going to acknowledge something that we can't see? The same way it was done from the beginning. We recognize that the invisible powers of God and his presence through a vessel, just how we know. Let's go to Romans 1 and 20. Jehovah works is manifested through his vessels. Romans chapter 1. We pick this up at verse 20. And it reads, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his internal power and Godhead, so that we are without excuse. So, brothers and sisters, you ain't got no excuse. Those decisions would be a hard time with thinking about what you're gonna do. He's gonna guide us through them. He will speak through his appointed vessels to show us which direction to go. So we ain't got no excuse to take wise counsel. Comes from the spirit, not from flesh. We trust in the unseen, not the seen. Those who trust in something they can see, are non-believers. They trust in man rather than the spirit that rests in the mind. Let's look at an example, just to show the point. Let's go back to the book of John. John, chapter 4. We pick this up at verse 25. And it reads, the woman said unto him, I know that Messiah, the appointed one, the anointed one, cometh, which is called Christ, Jehovah. When he is come, he will tell us all things. This sister clearly thought that the invisible Spirit of God was coming in the form of flesh, because she didn't understand that the Spirit was going to rest in the flesh. And we can see this when we jump up to verse 24, and see that God, our God, is invisible. The Spirit, our God, is in a man, and we can see that clear as day. God is the Spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Like I said, we cannot see the Spirit, but we trust in the Spirit. We can see the works of the Spirit that's made known through the vessels. Verse 26. Yahweh said unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. Let's jump over to Luke. Let's go to Luke. Luke, chapter 4. We pick this up at verse 18. And it reads, the Spirit of the Creator is upon me, because he had anointed me to teach the message to the poor, those who are blind, who lack wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You can stop right there. The manifestation of the works is from Jehovah, working through that vessel. He gets the glory and honor, not the vessel. The vessel job is only to submit and obey. You don't get no glory, no honor. We are unprofitable servants, doing what's required of us. Why would we get the glory if we owe him? He don't owe us nothing. He don't owe us anything, brothers and sisters. Jehovah gonna put in the works. From here, let's go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter, chapter 1. You pick this up at verse 17. And reads, for he received from God the Father honor and glory when there came such a voice to him. from the excellent glory. This is my beloved servant, in whom I am well pleased. Verse 18. And this voice which came from heaven we heard when we were with him in the holy mount. The Spirit is receiving the glory, not the vessel, because the vessel that the Spirit rests upon told us this. And let's go to the book of John. But people think of the man doing the work. When the vessel is telling us this, so do you want out? John chapter 7, pick this up at verse 18. And it reads, He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. However, he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Let's jump up to verse 16. Clear as day. And it reads, Yahweh answered them and said, My doctrine, my instruction is not mine, but his that sent me. Verse 17. Providing any man will do his will, his purpose, he shall know of the instruction, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. The same voice, the same Spirit is the exact Spirit from the beginning that created all things, but no man, no flesh has ever seen. Now Moses, word of truth, understood the presence of the invisible Spirit, but we know this. We know this is the same. We know this same invisible Spirit rested upon Yahweh Jesus. This clearly shows that Jehovah is made known through his prophets. Like I said, no man shall receive glory and honor for doing what's required of him. Jehovah received the glory and honor from the Father, Yahweh. And we saw that in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 17. The prophet received the word and heard the voice. However, it's many false prophets out here claiming glory and honor from the poor, those who are spiritually blind, who lack wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because these unlearned men are teaching them in these prison houses, giving them a false report. For that reason, they're learning in error, taking in vain philosophy that are taught by the precept of men. So, for us brothers who out here putting in work, we can't be out here moving like them. Jehovah give us all a job to do. We can't be out here looking for thanks for feeding the flock, or anyone for that matter. We don't need to be looking for likes and thumbs up. This ain't social media. We don't roll like this. We don't roll like these other institutions that seek to be worshipped. They exalt themselves. Because here at King James Bible University, along with the house of the lost sheep of Israel and the house of Jehovah, all the praise goes to Jehovah, not a man. You don't seek no praise. Okay? The vessel is only the mouthpiece. All we are is envelopes here, come to deliver the message to Jehovah's people. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to the book of Luke. Quick. Luke, chapter 17. I'll be pick this up at verse 9 and 10. And it reads, Do it he, thank the servant, because he do the things that were instructed of him? I think not. Hell no. Verse 10. So likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are instructed you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. Exactly the point. We don't look for no glory, no fame. No brothers or sisters should be looking for anything in return when it comes to putting in Jehovah's work. That's why it says we are unprofitable servants. We shouldn't be looking for nothing, not even a thank you, because that goes to Jehovah, not to us. So if anyone out here laboring in their heart, their will, for a profit, your labor is in vain. This is weightless. We know the Father does not consider the works of flesh. For that reason, we know Jehovah does not look upon the fruits of corruption. Let's go to Habakkuk. Habakkuk, chapter 1. Maybe pick this up at verse 13. Verse 12 and 13. Excuse me. We want verse 13 first. And it reads, Thou art perfection and beauty, of pure eyes, pure understanding, and to remember evil, and can't not look on iniquity, acts of sins. For that reason, lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest and control thy tongue, thy prophet, when the wicked consume the male or the female, that is more righteous than he. The Most High held back the prophet and allowed the wicked to consume the righteous. So that wicked could be revealed, and we could see this. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians to prove the point. 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. We'll pick this up at verse 7 and 8. And it reads, For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now let it will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, and consume with the spirit of his mouth. Brothers and sisters, it's never going to be us to do anything. It's going to be the will. It's going to be his will for his purpose. Let's go back to 2 Peter. Second Peter chapter 1. 2 Peter chapter 1. Pick this up at verse 21. And then we'll jump up. For the prophecy came, not in old time, according to the will of man, but separated men spake as they were moved, inspired by the separated body. It's the key right here, brothers and sisters. Knowing this voice, that no prophecy, no teaching of scripture is of any private interpretation. None. So, key thing is, knowing this voice, no teaching of truth is of any private teaching. This truth wasn't moved according to the flesh, but by the Spirit of God, which inspired true followers of Christ, those who walk separated from this world, who truly seek righteousness within their heart. Let's go to Romans. Romans, chapter 8. We pick this up at verse 5. And it reads, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. However, they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit." The brothers and sisters, we are debtors to Jehovah. We owe him for giving us life, for giving us his breath. We don't owe the flesh nothing, because the things of the ground are worthless. They're cursed. So providing we live after the flesh, we shall be separated from God. And when we think, and excuse me, and when I think about being separated from God, me personally, it reminds me of leaning on my own understanding, because my understanding is corrupt, and that corruption leads to being separated from me, God being separated from me. And we can see this in Wisdom of Solomon. So we ain't need to be leaning on our own understanding, brothers and sisters. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Let me pick this up at verse 3. And be taking us down to verse 5. And it reads, "For forward thoughts, wicked thoughts separate from God." See that? That's what has happened when you lean on your own understanding. That was me. And his power, when it is tried, when it is proven, condemn the unwise. Verse 4, "For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter." And that's a full thought. Let's reiterate that again. "For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from the thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in." So, brothers and sisters, who is deceitful other than a false teacher? Who is without understanding, except those who lean on their own unrighteousness, except for those who teaches lies and feign words. It have to be those who feeding unclean food in those prison houses, who have the people captive and keep them oppressed and rob the poor. But then they say God using them, talking about they get the Holy Ghost. When they say shalalala, that's the code words. That's the code words. It's time to get paid. It's time for you to make a withdrawal of your account. Then when they say shalabamba, that means who needs to get a nutritious meal when you can eat some Roman noodles. They're already feeding you unclean spiritual food. Do you think they really care about about you. They don't care about that. They just want to use you and make merchants of you, merchandise of you. They want to feel you. They want to feel you, feed you with vain words so they can get in your pocket. They ain't worrying about that wallet. They ain't worrying about nothing else. So you got to be real. Let's go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter, chapter 2. We pick this up at verse 2. And it reads, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. So many will follow them deadly ways, by reason of whom the way of the truth shall be evil spoken of. Brothers and sisters, we can clearly see that they're blaspheming the separated body, speaking this Bible, which is code word time to get paid. That's all they doing. All this, so they saying they speaking in tongues. Verse 3. And through covetousness shall they, with feigned words, with lying words, make merchandise of you. So they making a whole business of you. You won't go there and be sitting up in these buildings and go eat Roman noodles at the end of the day. And these fellas done eating all kind of unclean things. They go with pork chop and everything off your money. Go right ahead. Whose judgment now of a long time lingered not, and their damnation slumbered not. So they speak evil of the truth because it's a threat to their greedy appetites. The flesh will always be enmity against the spirit. Therefore, we know that those who are brought forth of the flesh are against those that are brought forth of the spirit. Let's go to Galatians. In the words of my evangelist, Evangelist James, he tells us this. Let's go there. Galatians chapter 4. We pick this up at verse 29. And it reads, but however, as comparing, then he that was brought forth after the flesh persecute him that was brought forth after the spirit, including so it is now. Brothers and sisters, there's nothing new under the sun, that which has been then is now, and that which is to be had already been. Those oppressors afflicted us with their burdens, and those burdens are the martyrs of this. However, the more they afflicted us, the more they oppress us, the more they persecute us, the more we multiply, because we are the seed of Jehovah's servant. Have we suffered so many things in vain? No, they were only for our learning. He was correcting us. Let's go to Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 12. Pick this up at starting from verse 5. verse 5. And it reads, and ye have forgotten the exhortation, the instruction, the counsel, which speaketh unto you as unto children. My servant, despise not thou the chastening of the Creator, nor faint, nor be discouraged, when thou art rebuked, when thou art corrected of him. My brothers and sisters, we need to understand the beauty of the correction that comes from the Creator. It's truly only a protection, brothers and sisters. It's only to prevent us from the second death, the eternal separation from Him. That's why we must be diligent in applying His instructions within our hearts, having a desire to hearken unto His words. Yhou is not going to withhold the rod of correction from us, brothers and sisters. Why? Because we are His peculiar treasure above all the people of the earth, whom He loveth, whom He promiseth. For that reason, we need to really sit down and consider. We need to really consider this, brothers and sisters. We need to really, truly meditate on this, There's something serious, For whom the Creator loveth, He chastiseth it and scourgeth every servant whom He receiveth, brothers. Come on, sisters. We're not going to miss out that punishment for being disobedient. We're not going to miss it. However, we need to what? We need to be strong and of good courage. Verse 7, and it reads, providing ye endure, providing we bear, chastising it. God dealeth with us, with you, as with servants. For what servant is he whom the Father chastiseth not? Let's be real, man. All right. This for the brothers, right? Because, the fathers, they never really should chastise their daughters as much. So many of us brothers know that when it comes down to our father, right? Like, it ain't no joke. Because I can speak from experience, right? Like, my father, but he didn't carry me easy. Yeah, he did love me, but he treated me like an adult from the age of 12 in terms of not patting me up. If I do something wrong, he correct me right away. He put that rod of correction on me quick. There was no slackness for me, brothers and sisters. None. So, as I used to get a whoop tail, right? I getting a whooping. Look, if I was to talk to me, to let me know, hey, nah, this for your own good, One day, you will have your own children, and you will understand the importance of discipline, of disciplining them. That's keeping them out of harm's way, saving their lives, just as Jehovah gave us instructions to follow. Therefore, our good, to keep us away from the second death, the eternal separation from Him. And this is to save our lives. Verse 8. However, providing ye be without chastisement, without correction, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards. So what? We heathens and not servants? Again, Israel, how art thou formed? Are we established in our own righteousness, being bastards, covenant breakers, heathens? Or are we Jehovah's servants, those who hearken unto His voice and walk diligently in His path? Because if we fall in after the way of righteousness, then we shall find life, brothers and sisters. It's only one way, one law, one God. You can't be saying we are true followers of Christ, and in our actions, our works, we showing differently. This is 100% hypocrisy. That's being wicked, brothers and sisters. We can't serve two masters. Either we are formed according to the word, or unto Yhou. It's just that simple. We can't get around this. This is why correction is needed. Let's go to Hebrews. We need correction, brothers and sisters. I might keep saying correction is what? Protection. Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 12. Maybe pick this up at verse 11. And it reads, now, no chastising, no correction, for the present seemeth to be joyous. So, no correction at the moment seems to be joyful. But what? But grievous, painful. Nevertheless, afterward, it produced the peaceable work of righteousness unto them which are exercised, which are performed thereby. Because, brothers and sisters, we must learn to endure correction, because chastisement is a form of love. Let's go to verse 10. Jump up. For they verily, for a few days, chasten us after their own pleasure. Their own what? Their own intent. Because the intent was for your father or your mother who correct you, to want to see you do better, to want to teach you the way, but they have to put that rod of correction on you. See ya? But what? But he, for our profit, for our what? Our benefit, that we might be partakers, that we may be what? Participants of his righteousness, his uprightness. This is Jehovah's do, brothers and sisters. Let's go here. Let's check something. Let's see Jehovah's do, man. See ya? See that? Jehovah's form us, fashion us, refine us. That's what he's do. Let's go to Sirach. Sirach, chapter 2. Let me pick this up at verse 5. And it reads, for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. From here, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. So that's all these do, brothers and sisters. You're only refining us, getting us prepared for the kingdom. So you got to be ready to go there. All the old things got to be done away with. We got to be what? Born again. So it's a refining process. We got to do it, brothers and sisters. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and we pick this up at verse 5. And it reads, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For God proved them. So he what? He refined them, corrected them, and found them worthy for himself. Verse 6. As comparing gold in the furnace, he tried them and received them as a burnt offering, as a living gift. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. Verse 8 and 9. Verse 8. They shall judge, they shall teach the nations, the congregations, and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. They shall put their trust in him, shall understand the truth. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he had care for his elects, those who are formed according to his way, who take pleasure in his works, my brothers and sisters. So as we come to the close of this teaching, let's go to the book of Isaiah. Let's go over here. Isaiah. We pick this up, chapter 48, verse 7 to verse 10. And it reads, they are created, they are formed now, and not from the beginning, even before the day when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldest say, remember I knew them. Yea, thou heardest them not, thou heardest not. Yea, thou knewest not. Yea, from that time that thine ear was not open, for I knew that thou wouldest deal very treacherously, and was called a transgressor from the womb. For my way's sake will I defer mine anger, and for my praise will I refrain for thee, that I cut thee not off. Remember, I have refined thee, I have cleansed thee, but not with silver. So I have assured thee, not with silver, not with what? Not with wealth and material possessions. I have chosen thee in the furnace and the trials of affliction. Yhou is going to beat us. See ya? Let's go back there. This is what Yhou do. This is what Yhou do. Yhou is going to beat us, brothers and sisters. He's going to beat us until we reform, until all those infirmities are gone, all those weaknesses, diseases, such as those works according to the flesh, being spiritually sick. These are the things needs to be removed, brothers and sisters, while on this journey. So, my brothers and sisters, I hope someone was richly edified with this lesson. I would like to thank each and everyone for coming out. This is Deacon Francis, and I'm with King James Bible University, along with the house of the Lordship of Israel and the house of Jehovah. And I'd like to say to each and everyone, Shalom.